Hi there, it's Thursday again. Time is just absolutely flying by, and it's Thursday 12, which also means I'm doing my regular weekly Facebook Live on my Botanicamy page, an alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. And today's ingredient that we are featuring is actually quite soothing indeed, Juniper Berry. And what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about junipers? Well, yes, can I have some answers in the comments as people are starting to log in? I can see the very first lady that logged in is an avid drinker of this specific drink. Hello, Mari. See, you just got in. So, hello, Quibus. We've just seen you log in. Brilliant. So, those of you that have just come in, today we are talking about a very firm favorite of mine in an alcoholic format, not necessarily the essential oil, but we are going to be talking about that oil today. So, yes, Marie, you're right. Definitely. It is, after all, gin. That is what gin is made from distilling juniper berries. And traditionally, hello Bev, and yes, there we go. She's also saying gin. Well done. We've got a lot of gin drinkers on the call today. A really good thing, right? So I've had a couple of testimonials lately from people who have indicated to me that I should talk about gin and juniper, because they've started doing their own research. And I think this is absolutely amazing, because this means that people are feeling inspired to do a little bit more digging of their own instead of just waiting for other people to tell them, which I get really excited about because I am a researcher, right? So the juniper, or the gin that we're talking about, the testimonials have come through in a sense saying that not only do people who feel slight discomfort in their joints and muscles find it incredibly relaxing when they drink gin in the format, or the juniper in the format of gin. Quibus is saying beer. Yes, Quibus is always beer. I don't think he drinks anything else. The juniper berry is obviously used to make the gin, right? But I think they've sort of started running trials on themselves now, these people giving me these testimonials, because they definitely say that certain alcohols obviously are going to give you a varying effect in your body. And particularly gin has been incredibly supporting when they've had a really hard day with sort of physical labor, right? So muscular. And when you are older, obviously your juiciness, let's call it that very scientific word, right? Juiciness in your joints decrease. But more than that, also, obviously, you're a little bit more stiff. The suppleness is not as good as it used to be. And obviously, then when you do quite a lot of physical labor, then obviously you are going to be feeling quite a lot of discomfort at the end of the day, right? And apparently, when you consume gin, you don't have to drink a large amount of it either, just maybe 1 or 2 tots, instead of just having the alcohol, which is a downer, remember? But the gin is definitely providing some beneficial support in the area of discomfort in joints and muscles. So I did go and do a little bit of digging, because I very recently got my juniper essential oil. And besides the fact that I really love the smell of it, it is a really pure and clean smell. Definitely a slight herby kind of tint to it. I really enjoy the smell of juniper. So for me, I'm using it quite a lot aromatically. But I did start doing some digging then to see what is it that everyone is on about in their testimonials about juniper supporting certain discomforts in their body. So let's kick off with the sciencey bit, because you know me, the science is my thing. So basically, juniper is very high in what we call monoterpene alkenes, which is actually a hydrocarbon. And the benefits, or the therapeutic benefits that you get from the alpha pinene, which is there obviously in quite a high concentration in that beautiful small juniper berry over there. I can see some hearts and some thumbs coming up there. I'm not sure who it's from. Just go and pop your name, or go and write something in the comments, and then I can see where it is from, so I can go and give you a shout out. So the alpha pinenes, they inhibit the accumulation of toxins, and therefore also help to discharge existing toxins, which is really good if you're trying to go on a detox regime, right? So that's something that juniper berry is really good for. Hello, Nicolene. Welcome. I can see some more people are logging in. Also, the therapeutic benefit of alpha pinenes include that they have anti-inflammatory benefits. They have antibacterial and antiseptic properties. They are very soothing to irritated tissues, so skin, and also a really good insect repellent. So maybe we had it wrong for all those years. The G and T is not coming from the T. Maybe it's coming from the G, right? No, I think it's actually both. But let's face it, the quinine, you've got to drink like lots and lots and lots and lots and lots more. So your negative side effects are going to far outweigh the positive insect repellent effects, right? But it's also coming from the G then, all right, which is in the Juniper Berry. Hello, Catherine, just logged in. Welcome, welcome. So glad you could join. It's also got cellular protective effects. Why? Because it's incredibly high in antioxidant support, right? So that's what the alpha-pinene do. And more in general, if you use the essential oils that are high in alpha-pinenes topically, they have antioxidant benefits. If you are using them aromatically, they have very unique and pleasant fragrances. So a lot of them are used quite extensively in the perfuming industry as well. Obviously because of the beautiful fragrances they have. And then for those of you that are using it internally, when you've got a food supplement grade essential oil, or even the real plant, if you're making your own gin at home, very definitely has antioxidant benefits for internal organs, and it may also support the nervous, immune, digestive, reproductive, integumentary, and circulatory system. So that's just what the alpha-pinenes do, and juniper is actually quite high in that. So if you're interested to learn a little bit more about scientific research that's actually been done on juniper, there's actually quite a nice review that was published just not too long ago in 2019, where obviously juniper has been used in natural medicine for quite some time. And it's been used for various things because the plant is incredibly rich in aromatic oils, invert sugars, resins, organic acids, terpenic acids, alkaloids, flavonoids, tannins, gums, lignans, wax, and all of those definitely have therapeutic benefits, especially if you start looking towards natural health and going to a functional medicine doctor or even naturopaths. And usually what the juniper extract or essential oils are used for is for the diuretic benefit, because it's got anti-arthritic properties, anti-diabetic properties, and being antiseptic. So generally we can see juniper for being a detoxifier, okay? And detoxifier literally means, as I said, with the alpha-pinenes, that's coming from the alpha-pinene part that's in the juniper berry itself. Hello, Alison, welcome, welcome. I can see some hearts coming through. That's amazing. I love the hearts, wearing red just for them today. So the alpha-pinenes is obviously there for the accumulation of the toxins and the discharging of the excess toxins, right? So that's where that top priority is coming from, or property, I should rather say. And then it's also a diuretic. So really good in flushing out toxins, for example, from the bladder area and the urinary system, if you think about it. Also, because of the antiseptic properties and the high antioxidant content, it's definitely going to be incredibly beneficial in supporting your immune system, which is a really good thing. And then also, it's very carminative, which is good for calming. But more than that, it is also what they call a stomachic, right? So this is where it's a bitters. Okay, so it's stimulating digestive enzymes, which is really good for digestion. Oh, we even have Alka that's logged in today. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so you can see there's actually quite a lot of benefits from juniper, and I think it's been used very extensively in natural medicine. And I do think that there's a shortage in proper clinical trials specifically for juniper. So for all the researchers out there that are working in the universities, please go and start investigating this plant, because if we can have some more solid clinical research, then we've even got a little bit more scientific backing. There's quite a lot of research out there already, but I always like it if they're doing proper clinical trials with the chemical constituents, or even the whole essential oil, because usually the whole oils definitely have a lot more supporting benefits, because the chemical constituents in there, even the ones that are there in very small percentages, have a benefit in supporting specifically the desired effect or therapeutic benefit that you're after, that you may not get by just isolating the one chemical constituent on its own. All right, so Nicolene is saying she's loving the science part, so interesting. And she's also asking me whether my foot or ankle is healing slowly but surely. Very slowly and surely, but I do have to say my essential oils, for those of you that don't know, I was on a hiking accident on Saturday. I stepped on a really big rock, which looked very solid and wasn't. It just sort of rolled over, and I actually sprained my ankle quite badly. Thank goodness I didn't break any bones, but obviously this week I've been exploring quite a lot of essential oils for the discomfort benefit. because I don't necessarily, my body doesn't work so well with pharmaceuticals. I get quite nasty side effects. So I've actually been pain medication free the entire week since the accident. I'm walking relatively pain free, which is really cool. And the essential oils are definitely supporting me. So when I looked into this oil this week, obviously I've now discovered that I can start adding juniper to the mix, and that's exactly why I'm doing this live on juniper today as well. So juniper is traditionally very good for the detoxing side, and therefore can be used to support, for example, organ detox and liver and kidney. But because essential oils are so incredibly potent, do remember that if they are really good at detoxing, you also shouldn't be using them for very long periods of time. Okay, so I'd say no more than a month, because obviously you shouldn't be detoxing continuously all the time either, right? So if you do have pre-existing kidney and liver conditions, then you should only be using a very highly detoxing essential oil for a short period of time. And here, it's, there's always some mixed information about there, but there's also good research sort of supporting both areas, because I know my favorite essential oil vet, Dr. Janet Rock, she actually uses Juniper Berry quite extensively in her veterinary practice, because cats, for example, with the urinary crystals that they sort of build up with the types of foods that we provide them as pets, they have those crystals that build up in their urine as well. It's a natural effect, but also with the foods, and because they don't take in enough water. And I know she uses juniper berry together with copahiba quite effectively in assisting cats with their kidneys, and specifically these crystals. So juniper is not only good for humans, right? But obviously, if you are going to be using juniper around your pets, always consult a more natural veterinary practice as well, or go and do one of her courses. She's really amazing. I mean, teaching you how to use your essential oils safely around pets, because they are teeny tiny bodies, and we can't overdose them because they are like little babies, right? All right, so definitely really good for detoxing, and for that same reason in both the kidney as well as the liver area. And you can use them topically as well, because you know where your kidneys and your liver sit. And remember, essential oils are really small. They do have the ability to get inside our cells. So they're lipophilic, they love fat, and they either go through receptor docking or they interact with the proteins on the cell membrane, and they cause a sort of cascade of chemical reactions that take place. There's a little bit of biochemistry thrown in there for you as well, for those of you that like the science part. But also, because it is so cleansing, I'm just going to open that and smell the cleansing benefit again. It's a really keen smell, and you can almost get the alpha-pinene, because it's also part of tea tree, right? There's a very high concentration of alpha-pinene in tea tree, and also in frankincense, coincidentally. And they all have that very sort of medicinally clean smell, and that's the alpha-pinene that you're smelling, by the way. But it's also really good for the achy joints and the discomfort in the muscles, specifically because it's got the ability to reduce the liquid. In other words, the inflammatory sort of juices that form when you've hurt yourself, right? So it's really good together with cypress, for example, a really good combination to increase the circulation and to get rid of the edema, the sort of swelling from the juices. Sorry, I'm like trying to explain it in as layman terms as possible today, and the words are not coming out so perfectly right. It's also antiseptic, so really good in supporting the immune system when you've got a environmental threat going around, so a really good one to have in a diffuser. And obviously also really good in the mood arena. So juniper, let's talk about the mood side quickly before I talk about all the oils that have alpha-pinenes in them, because then there's obviously some really good oils that you can pair this essential oil with. But emotionally, juniper has traditionally been known as the oil of the night. So it's really good, especially for kiddies that get nightmares at night or who are scared of the dark. Because what this oil actually does is it's very useful for people who fear certain hidden aspects, and when these aspects come out, it encourages to accept them. Okay, so the emotional balancing of a juniper essential oil, quite interestingly, is to get you from denying to move forwards to becoming insightful, and therefore learning a lesson out of your fears instead of being scared of them. Okay, how awesome is that? So there's a little bit of the emotional side of the juniper berry. If we go back into the alpha-pinenes, the essential oils that are really high in alpha pinene together with Juniper Berry, which are going to be supporting the cleansing and the antioxidant benefits, are things like frankincense, which I've already mentioned, Siberian fir, black pepper, black spruce, also coriander, cypress, basil, fennel, and helichrysum. So you can see all the oils there that we generally do associate with discomfort in the arena of joints and achy muscles, as well as being able to support good emotions. All of those oils are really high in alpha pinenes, and it's all because of the chemical constituents, right? So the emotional benefits that we're feeling, again, a reminder, it's not woo-woo stuff, it's literally the science of the chemical constituents that are found in these essential oils. So the Juniper blends incredibly well with bergamot, which is also a really uplifting essential oil, very high in limonene concentration, so really good for people who feel sad occasionally. So because of the clean smell and getting you from denying to insightful, this is probably going to be a really good blend with bergamot in a diffuser, or if you're making yourself a pure fume. With regards to the emotional benefits, also blends really well with blue tansy, and here we're looking at the muscular discomfort, because blue tansy is obviously also really good for when you've hurt yourself. Cypress, because cypress is an incredible very good at circulation, so it improves circulation. And then grapefruit, which is again very uplifting, and yarrow. So all of these smells together are going to make a really good pure fume, but you will also then get the therapeutic benefit. So that was a mouthful. I think the biggest takeaway that you do need to get from what Juniper Berry can do for you is that it is detoxing, it is revitalizing, and toning. All right, so definitely a good essential oil to be using on your skin topically for all of those benefits, for your mood, obviously. And I am definitely going to be adding Juniper Berry to the mix that I've been rubbing on my ankle this past week, which has allowed me to not have to use any over-the-counter medications, because I know they give me quite some nasty side effects. And obviously that is going to be supporting my body to heal the injury quite naturally, which is amazing, with no side effects. And it definitely is increasing the circulation as well as the analgesic properties, so I don't feel as much discomfort as I probably should have in my ankle area. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please go and visit my Botanically page. There's some nasty pictures on there for a foot that doesn't look like it belongs to me. It's like really swollen, or it was really swollen. Obviously the swelling has come down quite significantly, but it really does look a little bit alien on my body, I must say, especially with the discoloration. So thank you for all of you that joined me today. Hopefully you took at least one fact about juniper away, and that's going to help you use your juniper a little bit more effectively. If you don't mind sharing what it is you're going to be using it for, please pop it in the comments. And of course, if you do think someone else would benefit from learning a little bit more about the beautiful properties of juniper essential oil, or even the berries, and making your own gin, please don't drink more than like 1 or 2 tots a day, because then you are going to be paralyzed. But basically, gin and juniper berry and juniper essential oil are good all round. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you all again next week, Thursday, for my regular live on my Botanically Facebook page, also being uploaded to my YouTube channel straight after this. Thank you. Bye-bye.